Hello, and welcome to A Place in the Sun Revisited, where we chat with house hunters to find out just what happened when the cameras stopped rolling. I'm Andy Bridge, but more importantly, I have with me the star of today's episode, just aired on Channel 4, Kim. Hello, Kim. How are you?
Hello, I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Thank you for making the time to come on here and tell us all about your house hunt on A Place in the Sun, today's episode, which is just aired. So tell us, what was the brief that you gave to Leah at the start of the program? Tell us a little bit about the type of property you're looking for and why now.
Why now is I'm taking a retirement sometime soon, and I've been saving money, and I've had a dream of buying a property in Spain for a long time, and I just think it's just the right time. So I've got some savings, and I'm still working, so I can, still sort of try to afford it. So I just think that now is the time. I've got grandchildren, children, sisters. We're all young enough to enjoy it, and my grandchildren are growing up, and they'll have it for their future. So.
Fantastic. And you appeared on the program with your sister Debbie, who can't make it today. But what was her role in the house hunt?
Debbie was the moderator. I tend to get a bit over enthusiastic about everything I see, but Debbie would be the sensible head. She's a bit calmer than me.
Right. Okay. And the program actually ends on a bit of a low, doesn't it? Because your offer on the property that you fell in love with is initially rejected, but then we get a voiceover saying you then went out and bought it. So we didn't get to see any of that bit. So tell us how that all came about.
Well, the property had just been reduced, and I put in an offer that was lower than the new asking price, and the owner wouldn't bring down that asking price because he'd recently reduced it. So I knew I'd already booked to be in Spain with my two sons for the purpose of property hunting before I got accepted on A Place in the Sun, and it just kind of coordinated that it was the week after I was returning with my sons. So I set up another viewing on the property so I could get another opinion from my sons, and they're both very different characters, and they'd both be looking for very different things. And I wanted to make sure, because I fell in love with the property, and it didn't have a swimming pool, which was one of my compromises. So I wanted to make sure it was in a quiet area. So I wanted to make sure that area and that property would suit all my family. I mean, it was beachfront, and I didn't think I was going to get anything near the beach like that. So, and we'd already booked to go back out anyway, and the purpose was to property hunt, but we already now had the property in mind. So I set up a viewing, and we went and viewed it, had a look around the area and loved it, and offered the asking price.
Both sons coming from a different viewpoint then in terms of their characters, they both endorsed that and thought it was a good buy?
Yes, they did, yeah.
And as you say, no swimming pool, but quite a big pool out front, just right opposite, I think, as you joke in the program.
Yeah, the ocean, it's amazing. It's like being on a boat inside. We've actually been there and stayed there now, and my daughter's going out on Friday this week to stay with the children, so that some of the children, the grandchildren, will get a look in. So my daughter and my daughter-in-law and two of my grandchildren are going on Friday in 2 days' time.
How wonderful. So the place is going to get plenty of use.
Oh, yeah, it's already getting booked up.
So for anybody who didn't see the episode, let's just take a quick look at the property that Kim understandably fell in love with.
This is the one. Off the beach and into your apartment. This is it.
That's crazy.
You've been telling me your dream is an apartment on the sea. This is as beachfront as you're going to get.
Wow. Oh, that's beautiful. I'm amazed. I'm a bit speechless. Yeah, actually. You've pulled a miracle here.
I think so, you know.
Pulled the rabbit out the hat.
It's a 2-bed, 1-bathroom apartment, really modern kitchen and bathroom in there as well. So there isn't a pool here because the compromise was the sea.
You got the biggest pool of all.
Exactly, Debbie. This is a bit of a miracle, I won't lie to you, because it's been reduced by well over £20,000. Now on the market, just over £141,000.
God.
Yeah. And I thought for the sake of 1,000, which I know just goes over the top end of your wiggle room budget, I couldn't let this go without you seeing it, because this is part of your dream. So what are you thinking at this point?
I'm so excited to get inside and see it.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Wow, what great reactions. This apartment has a front balcony with fab sea views. Inside is an open plan living dining room. There's a separate kitchen, 2 double bedrooms, and a shower room.
Well, congratulations, Kim. I mean, that does look that it looks like somewhere where I could see myself sitting with a beer and some olives or a cup of tea in the morning. It's quite a special place, isn't it?
It is. It's a really special place. I don't think there's many places like that on that costa, really. And it's got all the amenities, albeit just a quiet little place. But it's a Spanish lived-in place, I think, more than just a holiday place. So it'll be open all year, I would imagine.
Right. And you were telling me earlier that you're quite a prepared buyer then. What things did you get in place before you went out? You referred to various preparations that you'd made and research that you'd done.
Well, I wasn't a seasoned buyer. A friend of mine was selling a flat a few years ago in Spain, and I was an interested party. And when I went to Spain to stay in her flat, it didn't transpire. She didn't sell it and I didn't buy it. But in the meantime, I did go and get the IMEI number. Is it IMEI?
The NIE number.
The NIE number.
And you need that for your bank account, don't you?
No, I had to go to a solicitor.
Right.
And then a local government office in another part of Spain, actually in Alicante. And that was a few years ago. So I got that. It's like a national insurance number.
Yeah.
So I got that already. But I had no idea that about buying property in Spain. That's why I applied to a place in the sun, because me and my son had gone earlier with the view of, we thought it'd be just a case of going to a few estate agents, and, and there they'd show me a property and it would be straightforward. But we were dumbfounded. We came away, and then I just said, because I watch a place in the sun, so I just said, I'm just going to have to apply. And I did not think I would have had a chance of getting on. And just within weeks, they got back to me, and within weeks we were filming. So I wasn't prepared at all. But the place in the sun was brilliant. They showed me the types of properties I could have, the locations where these could be, and ultimately I found our home. So. And
it's a busy old week, isn't it? They get you running around filming and seeing lots of places.
Yeah, it's certainly not a holiday. It's a working week. And you are really busy, and the whole week just flies by. It's full. We were falling into bed exhausted at 9 o'clock at night. So.
And you clearly had a good relationship with Leah. She's fun and enthusiastic, isn't she?
She was brilliant. Yeah, she was brilliant. All the crew were brilliant. From the cameraman, the sound man, the producer, is it, and the girl that was running around doing everything for everybody. They were brilliant. And we had a couple of social events with them. Went to a little tapas bar, and it was really nice.
And then when you went back out on your own, then you offered the asking price. This is the price that had been reduced to. Obviously, that's via an estate agent. It's fair to say that estate agents in Spain selling to British buyers, they do quite a bit more than an estate agent in the UK, don't they?
My word. My estate agent was actually a Swiss woman who lives in Spain and is married to a Spanish person. So she was bilingual in several languages, and she literally held my hand right through. Her name's Doris from Emo Swiss. She was brilliant. It was a family-owned business. Her son was the estate agent that showed the place in the sun originally, and he was involved, his sister and his mum Doris, when I went to actually buy it. So Doris literally accompanied me to the bank to open a bank account, accompanied me to the notary to sort out, all the legal bits, and she sorted out the electric, transferring the electricity into my name. Even when I was back in the UK, she'd be WhatsApping me, things about the electric, about the service charge, the water, all them things that you don't really think about. And it would be a really difficult process if you didn't have someone that's kind of guiding you through it. Really worthwhile. So yeah. So A Place in the Sun production team helped me to find the property, and then behind the scenes there's the estate agent that's doing all the other stuff, which you really don't even think about when you optimistically say, yeah, I'll buy that one.
And how long did it take from you making that subsequent offer when you went out with your sons to completion? When did you complete? Because you filmed in January 2022, January this year.
Well, I completed at the end of April, and the only reason was that the person who was selling it was a Moroccan guy living in Belgium, and he had some difficulty with travelling. So we both needed to be in Spain at the same time to sign all the deeds and everything. And he couldn't make it until the end of April. So it was at the end of April. I paid a deposit to hold the property and they took it off the market. But that's when we completed.
And you obviously had to transfer your hard-earned life savings from pounds into euros and see all that disappear over to Spain.
That's another thing as well that you don't really know, but as a buyer of property, but it's you can lose a lot of money just transferring it straight from your bank account. So I went through a finance, like a
currency broker, yeah.
Currency broker, and it was A Place in the Sun currency broker actually that I used.
Okay.
They were really helpful. So and that's kind of a rolling program now, because they will, whenever I need to transfer funds, I'll keep funds in my Spanish bank account, but there's always money coming out for water, electricity, things like that. So I'll use them to transfer lump sums of money over, and you save literally thousands of pounds by doing it that way. You do save thousands of pounds by going through a currency broker. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's good to hear. Yeah, we have our own branded currency business, A Place in the Sun currency. And as you say, particularly when you transferring large amounts, it's good to know the rate that you're going to get. Otherwise, you don't really know the final price of the property, what it's going to cost you. So it sounds like you went about it the right way.
Yeah, and I think for people buying a property abroad, they need to factor in. You can say that your wiggle room is this, but you need to factor in another, a good. Mine was about 20,000 extra pounds.
Okay.
On top of the buying the property. By the time you pay the legal fees, the taxes, and the maintenance fees, and all them kinds of things, so it's do need to factor in that.
Yeah, 12 to 14% is what most people, for the actual buying process, depending on which of the regions in Spain you're in. But then, of course, you have your community fees as well, which is an ongoing thing. Do you plan to rent the property out at all, or is it just going to be friends and family? No,
it's just going to be friends and family.
Yeah. So I can't come then.
Are you friends or family? You could do. You could do. I owe a debt of gratitude to A Place in the Sun. I wouldn't be here sitting smiling, looking forward to going there in 2 weeks' time. So, yeah.
Oh, fabulous! And your daughter's going out. Did you in the episode? Is that the property you talked about knocking down a wall, or was that a different? It is. Are you planning to do that still? That was between the kitchen.
Yeah, no, not straight away. I think it's livable. The seller left absolutely everything, so it was just a home to move into. I did buy some new furniture on my first time out there, but everything was good to go. Every single thing that you can think of that you'd have in a home was just there, from a bottle opener to sofas.
Wow. Fantastic.
And that made a huge difference, because I think I would have spent a month and a fortune buying everything that you need. So it was all there. Yeah.
Fabulous.
A benefit.
Are there any kind of key bits of information you'd wished you'd known before you started, or is there a piece of advice, apart from the obvious piece of advice, just get on and do it, because that's clearly what you've done. You've made a decision and you've just gone off and done it, which is fantastic. What kind of what's your takeout from it? Have you learned anything, or is it a bit of advice you'd pass on to anybody thinking of doing a similar thing?
Yeah, my advice that I'd pass on is know your finances. Open a bank account in Spain. You're going to need your, all your documents for that, your passport and things like that. Know that, since Brexit, the rules have changed, so you can't be out there living out there. That there are, there's certain rules around that, and factor in the extras. So do an estimate of what you think the extras are. And I think if I hadn't gone on a place in the sun, I don't know how I would have gone about buying somewhere, to be quite honest, because I think you'd have to live in a place for a good few months to know the lie of the land and who to go to, and the language barriers and the the legal aspects of the country and things like that. So I think if you're going to do it, place in the sun was the best way for me. I couldn't have really seen how I would have done it otherwise. It would have taken me going to Spain to live for 6 months to do it.
Well, great. Well, thank you for that, and congratulations. That's just wonderful. For anybody thinking of doing something similar, we do, of course, have a placeinthesun.com with a whole load of information to help you do what Kim has successfully done. And we also have in September our third exhibition of the year. That's at the NEC Birmingham. That's a Place in the Sun Live, 23rd to the 25th of September. There will be specialist property lawyers who will help you with conveyancing. There'll be estate agents with properties. They'll be happy to get you out on viewing trips to show you properties. It's not the TV show, but there will be an opportunity there to do a screen test to be on the TV show. And maybe you could be like Kim at some point in the future, starring on Channel 4. Was it fun seeing yourself on the telly then?
I haven't seen it yet. She's coming on the 29th of June.
That's right. We're just pretending you've seen it. Okay, there we go. My mistake. Great. Well, Kim, thank you very much for your time, and congratulations on securing such a wonderful property. And from all of us here, we wish you many happy memories there with your friends and family.
Oh, lovely. Thank you very much.
All the best.
And my thanks to everyone there in A Place in the Sun, because it's making dreams come true.
Well said. Thank you, Kim. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye-bye.